Hi, I'm Alison, welcome back to Sew Like Dotty. This is Friday Sews and it's a Friday Sews without any sewing, but I have got some new patterns, some fabric and some labels to talk you through. And the story of the projector will appear throughout. So there's a little bit of background noise, but I didn't switch it off. Carla's literally just gone out to pick somebody up to go and vote in the election, and we are mid sort the projector doodah out. So there'll be more on that to follow, but not on this vlog. Okay, so the patterns that I want to share with you are my last 5 patterns that I've chosen from Fibre Mood. So edition 29 has come out. Only one of the patterns is from edition 29. There are some beautiful patterns on edition 29. I always post links in the description box, so I will put a link into Fibre Mood. Sorry, I keep saying the reason I haven't picked more of them is they just don't suit my figure. Like, there's a beautiful one that's quite a slip dress with like an opening in the back and a tie, but it just wouldn't suit parts of my anatomy. Yeah, then there's some trousers, but I'd already downloaded some quite wide leg trousers off there last time. So I've actually been separating out today. I keep all my pattern instructions separate, so when I'm doing a vlog it's easy for me to just pull out those instructions. I don't keep them with the patterns, and I've just pulled out all my Fibre Mood ones and put them into a separate like drawer, and I've got 25 I think altogether. So I did a year's subscription. I'm not sure if I'll get another edition out of that subscription. I think I won't. It started in November, so I think this will be the last one. So if you do the subscription, I did digital only, so I don't get the magazine. I think it was about £90 for a year. So each edition you download 5 patterns of your choice from the new edition or the back catalogue. So I've just built up quite a repertoire really. I've made some of them, but lots of them I've still got plans for, but I'm really happy with the ones I've downloaded. So the first one I did mention last week, and that is a top called London, which is just here. So it's a woven top. It's very straightforward. It almost looks like a t-shirt. I'll show you the line drawings. Now last week I said I thought it had a little rouleau loop at the back, but I was completely lying. It's a tie. So I do want to make this because I want to use my bias binding foot on my cover stitch machine. So that's the line drawings. Very simple make. And I did order from Pound Fabrics 3 lots of viscose chalice, because the viscose chalice has gone from £5 a metre to I think it's £3.45 a metre, and this takes just less than 2 metres. So I've got some white, which is currently in the washing machine, some plain black, and this sort of cerise pink, because I just needs a good iron. I just quite fancy having a couple of tops that are like a t-shirt but they're not a t-shirt, and I think this could be the one. So it's a dead easy make. I could tuck it in or have it loose with a skirt or trousers. Happy days. So yeah, I haven't obviously downloaded and printed off the patterns for these because I'm wanting to use them on the projector files. So yeah, it's work in progress. To be fair, I know I said last week that we had a lot going on. We've still got a lot going on. It's actually got worse this week, but I won't go into that on here. But I just wouldn't have had any time really to do much sewing this week. I did go to a Stitch In Tyne, the social sewing session on Sunday, and I was making the Liberty bag for Sew Recreate the Look. But I knew I wasn't going to get that kind of made in a day, and I thought I was doing really well, and then I was sewing it all together and I realised I should have had the straps on like several stages before. You know how it goes, but hey ho, that's how it is. I will get that bag finished. I did put a little Instagram update on my eyes yesterday when this goes out to you on Friday. So just briefly, you know, I've been saying like my distance isn't right, and it's given me like motion sickness. I can't drive, so as a passenger in the car, I'm walking around shops. So I saw my surgeon yesterday, and absolutely the distance hasn't come out where it should have. So technology is amazing, isn't it? So what they're going to do is put in what's called a piggyback lens. So where the cataract was removed and the lens was put in, the interocular lenses, slightly in front of that in an area that's called the surface, I think, they can put another lens in front of it, so almost like you would do with glasses, but it's within your eye. Sorry if you're grossed out by eye stuff. So I've temporarily whizzed off today to get my eyes tested, to get some distance glasses, which are here. They're not really trendy, they're not like glasses I would have normally worn, but obviously it's a temporary measure. So everything at a distance is now very clear, but up close I'm fine. I literally was driving home like there'd been some sort of miracle performed, and I was going, oh my God, I can read that car registration. See that one that's down there that's like 5 cars away? Oh my God, everything's really clear. Oh my God, isn't it really bright? I must have been 2 cars set in. But it was like everything had been transformed, and I can't wait just to be able to drive again. So obviously that's made quite a difference as well. So that's all been ongoing, but they can't, well, he said I'd know what to do to fix it and I could go in right now and fix it, but it's only 3 weeks since I've been in both eyes, and eyes don't respond well if you go back in again too soon. So I've got those. I've got another pair that's like sunglasses. I just got really cheap frames because it's just a temporary thing. And we've got a holiday in September in France, and I'm kind of thinking after that, let's revisit it. So yeah, there's a solution anyway. So bear with me if you listen to all of that that's got no to do with sewing at all. But yeah, that's not the only thing that's going on. There's something way more complex than that. Okay, so that is the London by Fibre Mood. So the other patterns that I downloaded are all from previous editions, and some of them I don't know the editions, but what I'll do is put a link to Fibre Mood and the name of each pattern that I've mentioned in the description box, and you can check those out. So the next one is called the Indy, and it's a top. It's like a bit like a jumper style top. So butterfly, if this doesn't want to make you flit around cheerfully, we'd all love to do that, wouldn't we? Then we don't know what will. Indy falls nice and loose and has wonderfully roomy triangular sleeves and a round neckline, wide wrist trims, and then a hem at the bottom. So it's a unique Indy jumper. So as you can see from the line drawings, it's almost not bat wing, but it's got really wide sleeves. I think that's going to look really, really nice. So that might be an easy make. Obviously I've already done my July plans, so this isn't going to fall into them, but I think that's definitely something I'll be doing for the autumn. But I've got sort of 2 trees that people gave me in the garden when my dad passed away. They're both the same tree, and one didn't really do very well, and we got sent another one. Well, the tree that's the biggest tree, the one that thrives, thinks it's autumn. All its leaves have gone orange. Yeah, because everybody's just confused in England and we don't know what season we're in. Okay, are we ready for another pattern? Okay, so the next one is the Eza. I'm probably saying that wrong. E-Z-A. They shared a picture of a really mini skirt or skirt in the new edition, which, like, I don't think I've ever been able to wear a skirt that short. And I did ask Fibre Mood what blouse it was, and it isn't actually one of theirs, but they said this one is probably the nearest. And when I had a look at it, I thought, oh yeah, that's a bit of me. So that's one of the stock pictures there. So it's quite a puffy sleeve blouse. It looks really cute. I think it's definitely a bit of me. So it's raglan sleeves, very simple make. It's got a little, I think it's got a hook and eye maybe at the back on this one. So it says pair beautifully with fancy bottoms for a more dressy look, or upgrade some denims. It's a loose model that stands out thanks to playful pleats that create nice volume on the shoulders, and bias tape around the neckline and a keyhole opening. So I might just do bias tape with a tie on the back for that as well. Elegance and comfort are also in the cuffs, and a loose 7/8, don't understand what that means, 7/8 strap sleeves with deep arm cuts. No idea what that means, but that's the line drawings there. So it's just a fairly plain top but with puffy sleeves, but I think it looks quite nice. And I always think with some of these you can just add a skirt onto them anyway if you want to create a different dress, so happy days. So that's the Eze or who knows. I'm sure some of you just tune in every week to see what I can mispronounce anyway. So, really like this one, and I was kind of like, how have I scanned the whole back catalogue many times and not spotted this one? So this is called the Marion, and it's a dress. So I'll show you the picture. So this one's got like an outer netting and a skirt to there, but that whole this is the whole actual pattern. So I really like the look of this. So it's got like a drawstring around the waist, very simple. You could probably switch the drawstring out for elastic if you wanted to. Very similar back fastening to these ones. So it's got like a panel just below the waist and then a gathered panel from there. So you could play around with fabrics and things with that as well. I mean, I could live in this Judy dress, or one of my many Judy dresses, but at some point I feel like I've got to make something different. So this one excites me a little bit, I've got to say. So that will be coming up fairly soon. Maybe this month, maybe not, I might change my plans. And the final one is another dress. I think this has caught my eye before. I don't know why I've not opted for it. Maybe I'd chosen different things then. So this is called Marlene. So Karlene. So it's a dress that you can wear with or without a belt. So this is the stock picture that's on the pattern. So it's got this round detail here with gathers coming off, and a balloon sleeve in at the cuff, which I really like the look of that, and then down to a ruffle at the bottom. I mean, if you didn't like the ruffle, you could just extend the skirt, and then this tie belt, which is optional. I think if you go on the website, there are loads and loads of other pictures, like other fabrics and how they look like, a checky one of this. So you can see from the line drawings, you could wear it with or without the belt. I think I'd probably have to put it with the belt. So this part is all in one piece. So I would need to do this as the belt, or you could follow the line that the belt's meant to go and maybe put some elastic through the waist, like a channel at the back if you wanted to as well. That might be something I might consider. I'll probably do it with the belt the first time I make it. That just says it's a date ready dress. Carl, get your shoes polished. We're going on a date with the Marlene dress. A royal round neckline, an on-trend bishop sleeve, set the stage and accentuate the waist ties, taking care of the rest. The dress is dreamy and feminine with just a touch of frivolity. Oh, that's me, isn't it? Dreamy and feminine and a little bit frivolous. While still practical, I don't want to be practical, with hidden seam pockets. Wonderfully versatile, and you determine the length and select a fabric that sings. So yeah, there you go. So that's my new pattern picks, and fingers crossed, we've actually got it projecting now. We're just getting the calibration right. So what we're doing is we're actually projecting the Judy dress onto the mat and calibrating it, but using the paper pieces that I've got of the Judy dress to sort of check where we're going, because it's just angling the projector. I sound like I'm doing it, I'm not, Carl's doing it, but it's just getting the angle, the distance of the projector right and the size of it right. Obviously, just like a paper pattern, the size all has to be right. So what else have I got this week? Couple of labels. So I mentioned last week that I'd ordered some labels from Cozy Club Handmade. I've seen quite a few people get these, and I know that they were running out. So Vicky mentioned these to me first. I think the Fibro Sewist, she brought some, I'm sure it was Vicky, and actually when I saw her on Sunday she had one of these, not this one, the next one I'm going to show you, in the back of her dress. So you can choose to order 6 or 8. I think I went for 6. So this one says, I love what you're wearing. Hang on, let me get the zoom right. And then the back of it says, thanks, I made it. Which is just great, isn't it? And then the other one, if I've opened it up right, it's took me all day today to find scissors. I'll put a picture in of what the other side of the room looks like, because I've had to flip my cutting mat over from pink to purple to see if we can see the lines any clearer, and I've had to move a lot of stuff. And then Carl's like, "Oh, have you got any batteries for the wireless mouse?" No. So there's cables, batteries, there's a laptop, there's a MacBook Mini, there's a Mac somewhat or other of mine, which we can't get those to connect. We've managed to get my laptop working with it. Yeah, there's stuff everywhere. Right, so these are the other labels, which this one says, sewing is my superpower. we just get the focus in on that. And they're bright, sunny, and they've got daisies on, so perfect. And on the back it says, proudly made by me. I love those. So I'm well stocked for labels because last week I got 2 packets from Victoria, Little Rosy Cheek, so I feel well stocked again. So I think that's me. Oh, I got this. Granny Linda showed me hers at Sawtoon a couple of weeks ago, and I got it off Amazon. It's a pattern notcher. Now you probably know about these, but I didn't. I hate notches. I always use like the little pen marks. So you literally just go into your fabric like this, and this is your notcher bit there, and you just go like that, and it cuts a notch in your fabric. Love a gadget. So yeah, that's me. I did notice one thing today though. I've got, I don't know where I got these from. I think I got a bunch of them from somewhere when I had the sewing studio. My tape measure, my trusty tape measure that I measure myself with, the first centimetre isn't a full centimetre, so they need to go. Like Laurie again, go, walk out the door. So this was in the gift that Vicky gave me when I retired. It's the one that was in the Fabric Godmother Dream Wardrobe box. So we've been using this for the calibration, which does have full centimetres on. So I think I'm going to get some probably hemline gold tape measures. And I can actually make sure that I'm measuring myself right as well. Just slightly important, isn't it? Okay, I'm prattling on now. I'm going to go. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for all the lovely comments last week. I will get back to you, as I say. It's been a heavy week. I have been reading, but I need to respond because I'm usually a bit quicker than that. But thanks for all the love. I hope you are having the most amazing time sewing, or thinking about sewing, or buying fabric, or buying patterns, or just doing lovely things that are sewing related, because, yeah, life's just better with sewing in it really, isn't it? So have a fabulous week, everybody, and I'll catch up with you really soon. Bye for now.